The digestive system, question 1. The digestive system is made up of the digestive tract and other organs that help the body break down and absorb food, while also absorbing nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and water. Your digestive tract is a long, twisting tube that starts at your mouth and then involves your esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The mouth. The tissue that lines the inside of the mouth is known as the basal mucosa and is composed of epithelial cells. These structures, commonly thought of as cheek cells, divide approximately every 24 hours and are constantly shed from the body. Salivary glands. Salivary glands and saliva also play an important part. The basic units of salivary glands are clusters of cells called acini. These cells create a fluid that contains water, electrolytes, mucus, and enzymes, which all flow out of the acinus into collecting ducts. The esophagus. The esophagus extends from the pharynx to the stomach after passing through an opening in the diaphragm. The esophagus functions primarily as a transportational tube between compartments. The stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped bag located just left of the midline between the esophagus and small intestine. It is divided into 4 main regions. It has gastric glands that are where most of the mixing of the food occurs. The inner surface of the stomach stretches and contracts when food enters. The functions of the stomach include the short-term storage of ingested food, mechanical breakdown of food, chemical digestions of proteins and acids by enzymes. Stomach acid kills bugs and germs. Most of these functions are achieved by the secretion of stomach juices by gastric glands. The liver. It is a large reddish-brown organ situated in the right upper quarter of the abdomen. The liver has several important functions. It filters blood from the intestines. It detoxifies blood. Its main roles in the digestion are in the production of bile and metabolism of nutrients. All nutrients absorbed by the intestines pass through the liver and are processed before traveling through the rest of the body. The main functions of the gallbladder are storage and concentration of bile. Bile is a thick fluid that contains enzymes to help dissolve fat in the intestines. Bile is produced by the liver but stored in the gallbladder until it is needed. The pancreas. The pancreas is a pinkish-grey organ that lies behind the stomach. The pancreas has both exocrine and endocrine functions. Endocrine refers to the production of hormones, and exocrine makes up of 80 to 85% of the pancreas and is the area relevant to the gastrointestinal tract. The small intestine. It is approximately 6 meters in length, connecting the stomach to the large intestine. The small intestine is compressed into numerous folds and occupies a large proportion of the abdominal cavity. The small intestine performs the majority of digestion and absorption of nutrients. Partly digested food from the stomach is further broken down by enzymes from the pancreas and bile salts from the liver and gallbladder. After further digestion, food materials such as proteins, fats, and carbohydrates are broken down into small building blocks and absorbed into the body's bloodstream. The folds within the small intestine increase the surface area so there is more absorption. The mucosa of the small intestine contains several specialized cells. Some are responsible for absorption, while others secrete digestive enzymes and mucus to protect the intestinal lining from digestive actions. The large intestine. The large intestine is a horseshoe-shaped and it extends around the small intestine like a frame. It consists of the appendix, cecum, ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon, and the rectum. It has a length of approximately 1.5 meters and a width of 7.5 centimeters. The cecum is the expanded pouch that receives material from the ileum and starts to compress food products into fecal material. Food then travels along the colon. The rectum is the final 15 centimeters of the large intestine. It expands to hold fecal matter before it passes through to the anus. Thick bands of muscle known as sphincters control the passage of feces.
How is the surface area to volume ratio increased within the system to ensure the efficient and effective exchange of materials? The structure. Villi microvilli structure. Oh, fuck. I'm going to start from the start. Fuck me. How is the surface area to volume ratio increased within the system to ensure the efficient and effective exchange of materials? Structure. Villi and microvilli structure. Villi and microvilli look like small sausages protruding from the walls of the intestines, similar to the structure of a sea anemone. Surface area to volume ratio inside the digestive system. The human body takes full advantage of the increased surface area to volume ratios, especially within the digestive system. This is prominent in the intestines, small and large. Although they are both long organs which helps with breaking down and exchanging materials, they both align with villi and microvilli. This increases the surface area to volume ratio dramatically, allowing for more food and nutrients to be in contact with the surface area. This allows for more efficient and effective exchange of materials and nutrients to be extracted from the intestines and then transported to the cells for the fuel around the body. You still there? Yo.
Do it?
Yeah, I'm done.
Alright, let me this recording. Which tissues are present in the body system? Describe the relationship between structure and function for that tissue. The digestive system. The digestive tract spans 9 meters in length. It is essentially one large tube in which food is consumed, digested, and waste is produced. It is made up of the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, rectum, and anus. All these organs are uniquely structured to perform the specialized function to convert food into energy. Biological tissue is a collection of interconnected cells that perform a similar function within an organism. The stomach is mainly composed of epithelial, muscular, and connective tissue. Muscular tissue. The muscular tissue in the stomach aids the digestive system by mixing stomach contents and forcing contents towards the lower intestine. Epithelial tissue. This covers the inner and outer surfaces of the stomach to protect against acids. The epithelial tissue secretes digestive fluids, enzymes, and acid. It acts as a leakage barrier Dad, I'm in the middle of something. Okay. I'll be there in 1 minute. Enzyme.
Keep that in. That's funny.
It acts as a leakage barrier and an absorbing liner. Connective tissue, or known as serosa. The connective tissue's primary purpose in the stomach is to separate the mucosa from the smooth muscle layer of the stomach wall. Together with the epithelial tissue, it makes up the mucosa, which secretes gastric acid to aid digestion. It also absorbs nutrients from the stomach. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, dude.
What organs are part of this system? What is the function of each organ, and how is each organ structured to achieve their function? Salivary glands. The function of the salivary glands is to produce saliva, which helps keep the mouth and other parts of the digestive system moist. The saliva released by the salivary glands also helps to begin breaking down carbohydrates. Pharynx. The pharynx is a cone-like shape. It has muscular walls, which are vital for swallowing. The function of the pharynx is to enable the passage for food ballast, a bowl-like shape of food and saliva that forms in the mouth during the process of chewing, into the esophagus. Esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube that connects the pharynx and the stomach. The food is not passed by gravity down the esophagus, but by periodic contractions, which is like squeezing the food down. It's basically a road for food and drink to get to the stomach. Stomach. The stomach has 4 main parts: the cardia, fundus, body, and pylorus. These parts all work together to receive food from the esophagus and then secrete acids and enzymes that digest food. The stomach muscles also contract regularly to help with digestion. The pyloric sphincter is a muscular valve that opens to let food to pass from the stomach to the small intestine. Small intestine. The small intestine is where majority of digestion takes place. The small intestine ranges from about 6 to 7 meters long for adults and is made of 3 main sections. The first is the duodenum. It is responsible for signaling the distal digestive tract that food is coming and for telling the stomach to stop staying food. Chemical digestion is happening at this stage, where food is broken down into proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. In the second section is the jejunum. This is the section of the small intestine that has many folds that increases surface area for better absorption of nutrients when the food moves through the intestine. The third portion is the ileum. It is responsible for absorption of selective nutrients like vitamin B and C. Large intestine. The large intestine is on average about 1.5 meters long and consists of the caecum, appendix, colon, and rectum. The large intestine is accountable for recovering water and electrolytes. It also stores and forms feces and is responsible for fermentation of some ingestible food by bacteria. This is my bibliography. Thank you for listening.
How does your system connect with the other systems of the body to ensure the survival of the organism? The digestive system is very crucial for the human body's survival. Without the ability to consume and digest foods, we would not be able to live and maintain the life we live today. The digestive system connects with other parts of the body through the digestion and distribution of vitamins and energy withdrawn from the food. As the food reaches certain parts of the digestive tract, such as the large intestine and small intestines, the withdrawal of nutrients from the food intensifies. Through this act of digestion, the nutrients are then absorbed into the bloodstream to be sent around the body. This is an example of how the digestive system can connect with the circulatory system of the body. Explain how a specific malfunction of this system can lead to biological consequences for the organism. Describe how the specific malfunction can be treated, and malfunctions may include diseases and organ failures. Different Aidan cancers, or in other words, stomach cancers, can affect the digestive system greatly. The stomach is a crucial section of the digestive system and is most responsible for the breaking down of foods. Therefore, if this complex organ becomes damaged due to stomach cancers, there can be many consequences. Examples of the effects of stomach cancers include indigestion, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and also bloating. All of these effects damage the process of digestion heavily and are extremely problematic. Another factor of these lethal stomach cancers are that they can be very easily spread to crucial organs such as the liver and lungs. Although cancers of the stomach in most cases can be treated through the methods such as radiation therapy, surgery, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and also targeted therapy.